A quick review of an amazing adapter bracket kit by Openglass Van Mods. Thank you, Arvin, for putting all the time and attention into these brackets right there. That's the magic, what you're paying for right there. Beautiful touch, all the tools supplied, and high quality LEDs. I'm going to walk you through my quick install here, some highlights and some things to look out for. So obviously these, the first step is removing these panels. The top one, fairly easy, but be careful. I can see how they're broken. I actually broke the bottom trim on that middle bracket. Not to worry, they still go back if you do break one. But if anyone knows how to pop those properly, please let me know. The driver's side came off quite easily, and so a bit of a mystery there on that. So just watch out for those brackets. As we go forward, all the tools, beautiful little screwdriver set with all of the additions, super awesome touch, Openglass and Arvin, really well done. Your training video, also fantastic, although a funny training video moment later. Here's a tip: when you take these out, these headlight assemblies weigh a little bit more than I thought, and so they have a very short cord, so just watch when you take this out. It's a little weighty, and you don't want to drop it, and we go out. Now, here are the infinite drain holes, just quickly. Terrible design by Ram off to the wheel wells with those tubes. Those tubes are horrible angles. So anyway, next mod working on those. All right, inside the van, these little caps are a little hard to take off, so they may need force. Mine were kind of dirty and stuck a little bit. Here it's sitting on my table. I propped it up on a towel, a couple of towels to give me purchase on it, but definitely want to work on them upside down. And here's an example of the LED bulbs that Arvin and the crew have selected. I'm sure over time we can swap those out and experiment. Great tip on the Sharpie. You definitely want to mark where that tab is, especially for your low beams. Here's a funny moment in the video. There's two videos out there. This instruction does not work for this style, so maybe for different housing. You do actually need to remove the bulb. By the way, I dropped the screw, I dropped the filament inside. They're all fishable. Don't worry, don't panic. Once you get it right, take your time and go through. They line up great. When you put them in, make sure you've got that 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock orientation of the cable. They just need to be vertical as you go through. Again, all the work, what we're paying for are these brackets, and the attention detail is mind-boggling. I don't know how, obviously Arvin is a designer, but to really work through that must have been many prototypes over time, and so thank you for all the hard work. Pizza is highly recommended during the install. That helped me out back at it. And then just screwing in the final, the high beams are really simple. They just pop out, and once you get them in there, make sure you're tight so as you're putting them in, they're not just freewheeling. You want a little bit of resistance in there. So there's the bulb going back in. Again, we're going to lock it up here and take it outside. So fairly quickly, I did both at the same time. Of course, you're going to learn on that very first one, and then after that it gets quicker. So I started this about 11 o'clock, took my time, and it was finished by about 1 o'clock, which was really fun. So not a super long install, but you just want to have good weather and take your time and not be in a hurry, like everything. Quick tip, putting them back on, check all your brackets. I noticed that this spacer bracket on the outside had dislodged, and so I just caught it and was able to pop it back in place before putting the headlight assemblies back in. Those headlight assemblies are heavy. You don't want to drop them, and you don't want to force any of the screws and bolts. So went back in quite quickly. And now time shifting. This is the night before. I'm going to go quickly here, and I was benchmarking the original. So that's the original bulbs. Not bad, and you can see nice beam pattern there, which is great. It's important to benchmark 30 feet, 44 inches, find a parking lot. You go. Now, this is after the install. You can see much more intensity there. It's really hard to pick up on the camera, but they were misaligned. Here's the alignment, just under 44, and off we go. Now, I'm time shifting again. I did a video before. This is the H7 bulbs, and my wife is holding the camera. So this is from the cab behind the windshield, and so we're actually, there's a bit of glare in the windshield here, so it's really hard to pick up, but you'll see the original bulbs, they have a great distribution. It's not very wide. You'll notice on the right hand side there, it's not bad. Again, you'll see the color temperature. When I flip on the fog lights are really required for driving to really illuminate the sides of the road, and you'll see I'll probably pop them on again. There you go, and you can see the fog lights are brighter than the headlights, which is interesting. Good beam pattern going around the corner. I met some cyclists, didn't see them coming. Anyway, they were good. You can see the beam pattern on the left hand side there is quite, it's about middle of that fence. Keep an eye on that. And you'll notice the gravel, it's illuminated, but it's not super illuminated on the right hand side. Again, it's really hard to capture with the ambient light on this particular road, but the high beams there. Again, flicking the fog lights. The fog lights are really required if you just have the stock bulbs, because they're really filling out those exteriors. Now, we're going to switch over here in a second to the new lights, and then I've also got a split video coming up. So here immediately you can see this is just the regular driving lights with the new LEDs installed. And you can see the color temperature. I flicked on the fog lights there, and you'll see the fog lights come on again. You'll really see that color temperature difference. But look at the intensity. They're throwing further. They're illuminating to the sides much wider. There's the high beams are throwing quite high as well. You'll notice all the signs are really lighting up. So I noticed it's really hard to pick up on video. It really is, but a huge improvement, absolutely a huge improvement just with the low beams on. We're getting much further, wider, a little bit higher. I may tweak the alignments on these. Again, I was never flashed. I've only been driven a couple of nights here with them, but no one's flashing at all, which is great. And you'll see here going along the side, you'll see it's illuminating the side much more. There's those fog lights with that different color temperature. Please make a bracket for the fog lights, Arvin, if you're watching this. So I think a young couple in the van move along, nothing to see there. Little that was interesting. And anyway, you'll watch here. I'm going to click on the high beams here in a second, and you'll see it really light up the shed in the background. So yeah, really throwing a long way on the high beams alone, which is great. Same bulbs, by the way. I'm using the same bulbs in high and low beam with Arvin's advice on that. Great customer service. Thank you for sending those other bulbs. Now here's the split video. Very interesting. On the left, you'll see the warmer, weaker. On the right, it's more intense, and it's a colder white, but it's throwing further. Here's a good example of just, you can see how it's brightening up again. Not the exact camera angle. Apologize for that. My wife's holding again, but we tried to do our best there to compare. Just going to go around the corner here again. Now you'll notice the beam pattern on the right hand side is the new LED bulbs again, and you'll see it's throwing a little higher, definitely more intense, and it's also lighting up the side of the road more. So that's just the low beams. Again, you'll watch here as you see the fog lights come on and off, and you can see the fog lights have that warmer temperature, which is interesting as well. So that is a quick down and dirty review for all the Facebook groups that we're following, and just wanted to get it out there. But I just want to say thank you to Openglass, thank you to Arvin, all the hours that it's going in. We're really paying for those brackets, and it makes it fantastic because the brackets allow us to experiment with different bulbs over time. I'm sure Arvin will keep us all updated. Openglass will keep us updated on what bulbs are available, what else is working. Just gives us options, and it was a fun project, a couple of hours. Huge safety improvement in my eyes so far. More testing to come. Stay tuned for future videos around lighting. And just wanted to say thank you. Great product, and the product really is the adapter brackets. It's the customer service, which is fantastic, and it's the inclusion of those tools. Really, really well thought out all the way around. And hats off to Arvin. Great. I highly recommend these to anyone.